All right, let's get everybody seated. We're going to begin with a little bit of warm-up. Get in the mood for Shabbat. Chazanstein,
Here we
you have
go.
some music for us.
Hine Matov, how good it is for all of us to be together on this wonderful afternoon. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov. Sing it if you know it. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov. Shevet achim gam. Here's one that you know. Here we go. Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Oi. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom.
Shabbat's a day when we hopefully breathe a little bit slower. We just try to enjoy the rhythms of life. It's hard in the world we live in where everything's just so fast and moving. And to get here, you probably had to spend several hours getting ready, running around, making sure you had everything. The shoes go with the dress. The shoes go with the outfit. Like all that tension, right, that you get verklempt about. And in truth, decisions mean very little in life. It's about being in the moment, being able to appreciate it. And Lauren, that's what we're going to do with you. Right? I want you to feel, when we were talking with your parents, remember, I want you to be in this moment, to appreciate every piece of it. Shabbat began last night for me. I lit candles with my family. We welcomed in the Shabbat feeling and spirit. If you don't know, in the mystical tradition of the Jewish people, on Shabbat, you're actually given an additional soul. On Shabbat, you actually have two souls. And if you can plug into Shabbat, you can feel twice as spiritual and alive and amazing as any other day of the week. In fact, some of you who know Havdalah Ceremony, which takes place at the end of Shabbat, you know, with the candles, some of you may know, you're supposed to show your fingers like this. You may know from camp or somewhere else, you're supposed to look at the fingernails. And one mystical tradition says that if you look carefully, you can watch that additional soul leave your body. And with great sadness, we want it to come back. And so that's what we want to do here, is hold on and to feel the sanctity of Shabbat itself. Lauren, you can be here for a bat mitzvah because every Shabbat we take out the Torah in the afternoon. Right? It's the only afternoon that we take out the Torah. We do it Shabbat morning, we do it Monday mornings, Thursday mornings, and Saturday afternoon. You'll notice some of us who are going to be coming up here will be wearing a talit, but the talit is not part of the usual prayer experience for the afternoon or evening services, by the way. It's just usually associated with the morning service. So those who are coming up will wear one, and that's a big part of the Talit presentation will be to Lauren receiving this adult symbol of her Jewish identity. In terms of holiness, here's what I would ask, please. If you could, if you don't mind, making sure your phones are off. You know, if you really want to be present for the next hour, that's all the service is going to be wonderful not to even have to worry about it. Unless you're on call, unless there's something happening, I can't imagine that there's any TikTok post that is so essential that you have to watch it in the next hour, right? Or any message, and just for yourselves, not just even for Lauren, but for yourselves to be present in this moment. We're going to be able to, you'll be able to follow in the smaller of the red books, the prayer book, the Siddur in front of you, or in front you have them as well. It says Siddur Lev Shalem. And the Mincha, the afternoon service, you're going to find on page 214. In the first prayer, we've asked Lauren to do this in English. So Lauren, why don't you come forward? It's the Ashrei, and you'll be able to respond on the alternate stanzas as she begins. Again, page 214 is the Mincha service.
Joyous are they who dwell in your house. They shall praise you forever.
Joyous the people who are so favored. Joyous the people whose God is Adonai.
I exalt you, my God, my sovereign. I praise your name always.
Every day I praise you, glorifying your name always.
Great is Adonai, greatly to be praised, though your greatness is unfathomable.
One generation praises your work to another, telling of your mighty deeds.
I would speak of your majestic glory and of your wondrous acts.
Generations speak of your awe-inspiring deeds. I too shall recount your greatness.
They recount your great goodness and sing of your righteousness.
Adonai is merciful and compassionate, patient and abounding in love.
Adonai is good to all, and God's mercy embraces all of creation.
All of creation acknowledges you, and the faithful bless you.
They speak of your glory, of your sovereignty, and tell of your might.
Proclaiming to humanity your mighty deeds and the glory of your majestic sovereignty.
Your sovereignty is eternal. Your dominion endures in every generation.
Adonai supports all who falter and lifts up all who are bent down.
The eyes of all look hopefully to you, and you provide them nourishment in its proper time.
Opening your hand, you satisfy with contentment all that lives.
Adonai is righteous, and in all that is done, faithful to all creation.
Adonai is near to all who call sincerely.
God fulfills the desire of those who are faithful, listening to their cries, rescuing them.
Adonai watches over all who love the Holy One, but will destroy all the wicked.
My mouth shall utter praise of Adonai. May all that is mortal praise God's name forever and ever.
Amen. You may be seated. Go ahead. And we continue page 217 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'omad yivrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'b'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמירה במבורך, לעלם מעלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
As we prepare for the Torah service, we're going to take you out to the Torah in just a second. We're going to call forward Ben and Henry Aaronsberg and Hannah Levine and Asher and Addie Lloyd. If you'll come up here, get ready to open up the Ark, page 218.
ואני תפילתי לך אדוני בית רצון, אלוהים ברוב חסדך, ענני באמת אישך. ויהי בנסוע הארון, ויאמר משה, קומה אדוני, ויפוצו אויביך, וינוסו משנאיך מפניך, כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים, ברוך שנתן תורה, תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה, תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. גדלו לאדוני איתי, ונרממה שמו יחדיו. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד.
You may be seated. It's time for the Torah service, so you can put away your prayer book for a little bit of the service. You can take out instead the larger of the red books, the Chumash, the Torah text. And the portion we are reading this afternoon, I want to tell you, is probably my favorite chapter of the whole Torah. Now, that's hard to say for a rabbi. Right? It's probably my favorite chapter of the Torah. It's a section called Kedoshim, holiness. And it begins, Lauren, with the words, right? Kedoshim, to you, you shall be holy, Kedoshim. And that's the reason for living. If you wonder what holiness means, we often use that word. Holiness in the Jewish tradition literally means separated for a special purpose. It means we separate our lives and we try and live at a holier, at a higher level. Isn't that, here's a question for you. Have you learned anything from the pandemic about living a better life? It's a powerful question, right? Have we learned anything from this? Or are we just angrier? So the whole sermon's going to come up for the high holidays. You can hear it, right? People just seem to be angrier, right? Less patience, nastier. And we read a section like this that says, just try and elevate yourselves. And one of the most powerful sections, I just want you to take a look at it, is on page 696. You know part of this, and Lauren's going to speak about this, so I won't take away your thunder, about you shall love your neighbors yourself. But that phrase, that teaching, is at the end of actually a more powerful paragraph. And on page 696, it begins. I want you to bring this into your heart. You shall not hate your kinfolk in your heart. You may reprove your kinsmen, but don't incur guilt because of them. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against your countrymen. Love your fellow as yourself. I'm the Lord your God. Right? Don't take revenge. Don't bear a grudge. Right? How many people today are bearing grudges against other people? When the rabbis talk about what does it mean to bear a grudge, revenge, they said, is this. And you all know this well. They give this example. Somebody comes to borrow from you, right, a hammer right? Sorry, you go to borrow from them a hammer, and they say, nope, sir, I'm not going to lend you the hammer. The next day they come to you, and they want to borrow a rake, and you say, sorry, I'm not going to lend you the rake because you didn't lend me the hammer. They said, that's revenge. Bearing a grudge, here's how I envision it. You go to your neighbor to borrow the hammer. He says, sorry, I'm not going to give you the hammer. He comes to borrow the rake, and you say, even though you didn't lend me your rake, the hammer, I will lend you my rake. Now, you might all say, like, what's the matter with that? You gave him the rake. You try to teach him a lesson, right? Isn't that what many people would do? So say, look, I want you to know, in essence, what are we saying? I'm better than you. Let's just acknowledge that. Right? Isn't that what you're saying? Right? I'm better than you. But when you do that, if you really have kindness in your heart and you end up saying that, you become someone that you're not. The question is, in this, post-pandemic, as we feel like and pray for a post-pandemic world, right? Do we hold things in our heart? Are we different today than we were 2 years ago in how we treat people? And do we need to fix that? And how do we fix it? I think we have work to do. I think the Torah has a lot to teach us about this. It's just so amazing. In the meantime, Lauren, I'm going to call up your parents, please. Alicia and Adam, you're going to share with your daughter at this moment some words and present her with the talit. Just get close to the mic. Yeah, feel free. There you go.
Lauren, it's amazing that we're standing here today at your bat mitzvah. For those who don't know, Lauren's entrance into this world was just a little non-traditional. Let's just say it involved a fire station off Mulholland Highway, a driveway, and about 10 firefighters. Oh, and of course, Alicia. Lauren, well, you've heard all the stories numerous times over the years, but I think the way you came into this world served as a true metaphor for who you are as a person. Even though you were 4 weeks early and your delivery wasn't quite as planned, you were just ready to start experiencing all the wonders and joys that life has to offer. And that is very much who you are today. Your mom and I are so proud of the work that you've put in preparation for your bat mitzvah. But even more than that, we're so proud of the person you've become. You're compassionate, caring, responsible, and loyal. And at the same time, you are just someone that everyone loves being around. You're comfortable in your own skin in just being you, which just shows you are mature beyond your years. You're also someone who loves helping others. This is true in your passion for helping to rescue animals. When you found out that there was a group of rescue golden retrievers flying in from Turkey who needed to be greeted and helped when they arrived at the airport, you were right there at LAX waiting for them just because you wanted to help. Of course, we ended up with one of them. Well, not from this trip, but you did decide to rescue our dog Beckham from Turkey, of which I now realize we had absolutely no say on the matter. Your mind was made up, and so, well, we now have 2 dogs. At the same time, you were so compassionate. During the pandemic, you and Avery decided, hey, why not start an organization to help people in need? So sure enough, I remember coming home and you just casually mentioning that you guys started LA Smiles, set up a website, and ended up collecting food to bring to all the staff working around-the-clock shifts at West Hills Hospital. So I find it fitting that the Torah portion this week that you're about to read has some of the most mitzvot or commandments of any portion in the Torah. It's filled with the requirements to do many good deeds in the world, and that aligns very well with who you are as a person. Well, I know today will fly by and seem like a blur. I'm hoping you can truly appreciate the meaning and significance of the day. Becoming a bat mitzvah celebrates the link of an unbroken chain of tradition within our families and the Jewish people that stretches back thousands of years. But it also signifies a connection hopefully you will continue to feel for the rest of your life. These past 12 years have seemed to just fly by, but the one thing that hasn't changed is that I just love being your dad and all the time we spend together, whether it's traveling to new places, going to UCLA gymnastics meets, watching movies, or finding the latest good restaurant. To close, I was searching for some magical words of advice or inspiration, but to be honest, my best advice is to keep being you. Keep exploring the things that interest you, that fulfill you. You have strong instincts, listen to them, and don't be afraid to explore uncharted paths, even if you may be a little fearful. Mom, Noah, and I are incredibly proud of you, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Mazel tov, and we love you very much.
All right, give your dad a hug. And Alicia, you change places.
Lauren, I truly can't believe today is really here. It has only been 26 months since our family stood on this bima for Noah's bar mitzvah, but is truly a different world today. Nothing could have prepared any of us for what would happen 2 weeks after Noah's bar mitzvah. But I have been amazed by how you have handled everything and how you have grown wiser and taught all of us life lessons when things got tough. You never complained about distancing or masking because you always saw the benefit of protecting the greater good. That is something that is so special about you. You are always able to look at a situation and see how it will impact others. You are always able to find the positives in a negative situation. When we look back at the last 2 years, you don't talk about the negatives, like online school or having to see friends outdoors for many months, or sometimes not at all. You talk about adopting Beckham, Sunday night family dinners, and road trips that we would not have otherwise gone on. Your outlook on life will get you far, and I will continue to try to follow your lead and learn from you. I truly mean it when I say that I would have chosen you as a friend if we were the same age. I love being your mom. I love nothing more than our adventures all around LA, hiking with Duke and Beckham, traveling to new places, and the simple things like finding a new TV show or just hanging out and talking. Your Hebrew name, Leviah, means lioness, which can be interpreted to mean someone who shows strength, independence, and is always there to take care of her friends and family. We could not have chosen a more perfect Hebrew name for you. You came into this world so independent and strong. I think back to when you were born at 36 weeks on the driveway of a fire station, and you and I were whisked away in an ambulance with the firemen and paramedics, and Dad had to drive separately to the hospital. In a situation that should have had me terrified, for some reason, I wasn't scared. There was something about you that kept me calm and reassured, and that feeling has never gone away. You are always looking out for your family and friends. You are so loyal, and everyone knows you will always be there for them. You are the best sister, and your relationship with Noah is so special to watch. Since your 13th birthday is not till September, choosing to have your bat mitzvah today was somewhat of a random date. But when I think about your Torah portion, I realize that it was meant to be that we chose today. Your Torah portion talks about the golden rule and loving thy neighbor as oneself, and this includes animals. This Torah portion was meant for you. You truly treat everybody the way they would like to be treated. This goes for people and animals. You don't see people's disabilities or imperfections. When you submitted an adoption application for Beckham, and we were called that night, after I told you it could take months to hear back, and you asked why they called us so quickly, I said not everyone would be interested in a dog with his previous medical issues. You did not understand why anyone would not see Beckham as perfect as the way you did. As we stand here today, I hope you can feel the love surrounding you and how proud Daddy, Noah, and I are of you. I know you will continue to do amazing things as you get older. And although you have your whole life planned out, including your big city apartment, please enjoy each day because you are definitely going to make your mark and everyone around you proud. We all love you and appreciate you and treasure the love that you give us. Thank you for being the most amazing daughter. Mazel tov.
Give your mom a hug, and then we're going to, hold on, and then going to receive the talit from your parents, and you're going to recite that blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitateh batzitzi.
Amen. All right, for the first Aliyah, if I call out your name, and those of you who know you should be up here, Judy, Richard, Jerry, Marlene, Alexis, Eric, and Tammy, if you all make your way up here, please.
יעמדו יהודית ומשה ויעקב ואסתר ובתיה ואפרים ותמרה ראשון ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarak Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Barakar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Ve'adaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael, varmata alehem kedoshim tihu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohehem. Ish imo va'aviv tira'u, ve'et shabbatotai tishmoru, ani Adonai Elohehem. Al tifnu el halilim belohe matzeha lo ta'asu lehem ani Adonai Elohehem.
Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher natan lanu Torah emet v'kayei olam notah b'tokeinu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. You may descend. We'll get everybody off. We're going to call forward back, please, Alicia and Adam for the second Aliyah. And if you're following in the Chumash, it's page 694. 694, the second Aliyah will begin page verse 5. Noah, and you're coming up as well. That's right. All right, why don't you start off with a blessing?
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Wait, where is it? Wait, Vehi tisbehu zevah shalamim ladonai lirtzonehem tisbehu beyom zevah holhem ye'ahel umi mahorat v'hanotar ad yom hashlishi be'esh yesarev ve'im he'ahel ye'ahel beyom hashlishi Pigol hu lo yeratzeh, v'hala abono yisa, kiet kodesh Adonai hilel, v'nifreta ha-nefesh ha-hi me'omecha, ufkutz rehem katzir artsehem, lo tekale, pe'et zadahir liksor, v'leket katzir ha lo telaket, v'harmeha lo ta'olel, V'feret karmecha lo telaket le'ani v'lager ta'ozav atam ani Adonai Elohehem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nota betochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Some of you, the candy has made its way through there. This was not supposed to be a snack for in between. Hopefully you still have it. When we finish this aliyah, which is Lauren's aliyah, you're going to, those of you who wish, throw it ever so gently and lovingly. All right? This is not as hard as you can. We don't want to hurt the bat mitzvah. Her life began in an ambulance. We don't want it to end up on the bat mitzvah in one as well. Right, Adam? That's the last thing we want. Let's try to avoid that. So gently leveling. And then if you are 10 years old or younger, 10 years or younger, you can help be the grounds crew and come up and clean up with the candy afterwards. 10 and younger, so you can get ready for that. Before beginning, first, Hazan, you're going to call up our bat mitzvah officially.
I would love to. Here we go. Abachura habat mitzvah tamod levya bat chaim umalka shlishi chizki key.
See, birth with an ambulance, bat mitzvah with Chazan Stein announcing your arrival. All right, that's what it feels like. You are going to, before you do the Aliyah and the Torah reading, you're going to share some of your thoughts on the portion and the phrase that you love so much, you shall love your neighbors yourself. Go ahead, Lauren.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to everyone for coming to celebrate this special day with me. My Torah portion, Kiddushim, focuses on holiness and what it means to be holy. God told Moses to lead the Israelite community with holiness. Examples of being holy include being respectful to your parents, loving your neighbor as yourself, not to steal or gossip, and to respect older people. Another part of Kiddushim is focused on what the punishments are if you are not acting holy. If you break a law, you are either sentenced to death, thrown out of your home, or forced to live childless. In order to be holy, you have to show respect to your neighbors as much as you respect yourself. This is known as the Golden Rule. By following this rule, you could visit the sick, protect others' property, and comfort someone who has lost a loved one. This rule can also apply to animals, not just humans. This means that you should also treat animals with love and care. In summary, Kiddushim emphasizes holiness, the Golden Rule, and types of punishments you receive if you are not acting holy. A main part of Kiddushim is loving your neighbor as yourself. This includes treating people with respect, treating people kindly, and treating others the way you want to be treated. 2 years ago, the whole world had to shut down to stop the spread of COVID-19. If you look at the shutdown from a different perspective, we all went into lockdown to protect our neighbors from getting sick. We are very kind to the people around us and wear masks just for the safety of other people. This is a great example of loving your neighbor as yourself. Another part of my Torah portion is about laws. In Kiddushim, we have many laws that, if followed, help make our community better. This is relevant to COVID-19 because we had many laws that we were told to follow to help others. Some of these were mask mandates, 6 feet laws, schools being shut down, and much more. Kiddushim relates a lot to the lessons that I have learned from COVID-19 and how many times you have to do things that you might not want to do in order to protect other people. Becoming a bat mitzvah is very important to me. My whole family has become bar bat mitzvahed, so I'm happy that I can continue this tradition. By becoming a bat mitzvah, I know that I'm getting older and I want to be more charitable to the community and help others as much as I can. During the last year, I have helped at several dog adoption events. At one of these events, I went to LAX and helped dogs who were international rescues. I took them on walks, got them food and water, and made sure they were all settled before they went to their new home. I also helped at 2 other dog adoption events where I was assigned a dog and helped them for the rest of the day and spoke to the people interested in adopting the dogs. I hope to keep continuing my volunteer work at more of these events so I can give back to the community. I also believe that becoming a bat mitzvah is an important part of becoming a Jewish teenager. As a teenager, I will get to participate more in the Jewish community. In conclusion, being bat mitzvah is very important to me. I'm so grateful for Hazan Mimi, Rabbi Galko, Rabbi Vogel, and Hazan Stein for helping me prepare for today. Lastly, I'm so thankful for my mom, dad, and Noah. My family has supported me and has been there for me through everything, and I couldn't be up here today if it wasn't for them. I love you guys so much, and thank you for everything. Thank you all again for being here to share this special moment with me. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. As Lauren prepares to recite the blessings, the third Aliyah you'll find page 695. verse 11.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambora. Baruch Adonai Hambra Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bar harbanu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha-Torah. Lo tivnovu velo tehahashu lo teshakiru ish wait lo lo tivnovu velo tehahashu velo teshakiru ish ba'amito velo ta'asu bishmi la shaker vehila ta'ah et Shem Elohecha ni Adonai, lo ta'asu et re'aha, velo tigzol, lo ta'alin, perulat zahir, itehad ad boker, lo takale heresh velifnei iver, lo tiftain mikshol, ve'yadata me'elohecha ani Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayeh olam nata betoheinu, Baruch atah Adonai noten ha-Torah.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, Yehelanu,
It's good. We're good.
Yehelanu,
I think we're good. Thank you.
David melech Yisrael, chai v'kayam. David melech Yisrael, chai v'kayam.
Bring them up to get the candy. Come on up.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yehelanu.
All right. You can... All right. Shh. I'd love for those of you in the back to help out here. Here you go. Shh. Come on. Oh, you got, nice job. Come on. Oh, did you take it? Here. You got enough. All right. Lauren, take a deep breath. You feeling a little bit better right now? Isn't that great, that moment? I've known you from before you were born. I remember calling your dad. We recalled this after you were born and being regaled about the story. And I could talk a lot about the accomplishments of your parents, but that's not what this moment is about. What they've done is not for recognition, but simply to make a difference in the world and to serve as a model for you. That's what it's really been about. And you know that. To set a model for our children that we can make a difference, that it takes hard work to do. The idea of being able to exhibit kindness towards people, towards animals. Yeah, Adam, you didn't stand a chance about not getting that dog, Becca. You know that from the very beginning. Because compassion and love and wanting was going to overcome any sensibilities of responsibility. And who was going to take care of that dog? But Lauren, we talked a lot about the pandemic. We talked about making the most out of life. And even your Aliyah was perfect, right? You stopped for a moment and you had to regroup and then you went forward. True character of an individual is tested in the moment in which there's an issue. I hope you know that. It's really great it's easy to be comfortable and secure in everything when everything is going great, but when you have a moment and you need to recover, how do you handle that? And you do that with grace. Right? You took the time during this pandemic to learn surfing. I guess that was like the thing to do for many of these families and friends that you had. And being outdoors and figuring out a new relationship with life and trying to find something new and a way of recovering, right? And you never, before the pandemic, I never imagined that you would have thought to do that. But how do we respond? And the idea of holding up ourselves in holiness, your portion of Kedoshim. And I think you're right. I think we often say that the Torah portion finds you. And the idea that it should be guided by such values, that's what you are about. Right? I love the relationship that you and Noah have. It's a really nice relationship. And I hope that you'll always be close with each other and feel a sense of responsibility and familiar obligation. You have amazing families from the Shermans and the Weintraubs. Shermans I've known for a very long time, right, as well. And to be able to have that lineage and to know that you come from good stock. I want to share with you a blessing that's been given by the Jewish people about 3,000 years. Words are included in the Torah. It goes like this. Yarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisrael Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lach shalom. Lauren Weintraub, may God's presence always be with you. May you bring that holiness into this world, to make this world a better place, to bring love, compassion, and ultimately to help bring a world of peace. And we all say, Amen. We're going to prepare now to return the Torah back to the Ark. And so we're going to call forward Kathy and Chuck Sherman and Robert and Janet Sherman, if you will please, to open up the Ark. We're back in the prayer book in the smaller of the red books, page 222. I'm going to ask you to rise, please.
Elecha v'nashuva ha'esh yameinu yekedem ha'ashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Yameinu
You may be seated just for a moment. L'chatzi Kaddish, page 223.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba Ve'amad yivrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei V'chayechon v'yomechon Uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala U'bizman karev v'meru Amen Yesh merava mevorah Le'alam le'al me'ol maya Yitvarach v'yishtabach V'yitvar v'yitrumam v'yitnasei V'yitadar v'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei dekurasha Rehu le'ela min kol brechata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'aviran ve'alema V'meru Amen.
rise together, please. Page 223 for the Amidah. If you know this prayer, we encourage you to join along with us as Lauren will lead us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu le'ma'an shemo ve'ahava Melech ozer ufoked shio umagen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ufoked Sarah Atah gibor le'olam Adonai Mehayem etim atah Rav lehoshia Morid hatam Mekalel hayim behesed Mehayem etim berahamim rabim Somech noflim verofei holim Umatir asarim Umekayem emunatov Lishanei afar Miha moha bal gibirot Umido melah Melech memi umekayem Umatzmia Yeshua Venem manata lehahayot metim Baruch atah Adonai Mehayehem metim.
נקדש שמך בעולם כשם שמעתי שמותו בשמי מרום ככתוב היד נביאך וקרא זה אל זה ואמר
קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך הארץ כבודו
קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך הארץ כבודו לימתם ברוך יאמרו
ברוך אדוני ממקומו
ברוך אדוני ממקומו ובדברי קודשך כתוב לאמור
ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון לדור ודור הללויה
ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון לדור ודור הללויה לדור ודור נגיד גודלך ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד כי המלך קדוש וקדוש אתה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently with our prayers, Hebrew or English, or if you prefer, private prayers and meditations of your hearts.
עושה שלום במרומה הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן יעשה שלום שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל יעשה שלום שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל יעשה שלום שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל יעשה שלום שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
May be seated for a moment. Kaddish Shalem, page 230.
יגאל ויגאל השמי רבה,
אמן.
ועמדי בחילוצי, והמליך מחוצי בחייכון ובמייכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגל בזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעלם לעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתבאר ותשמע וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דאמרן ועלמה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותו נבואתו לכל בית ישראל כל דמות שמיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן.
We rise together, page 231. We join along with Lauren for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shel be'af la'don ha'kol la'tekedi la'leotzer b'reshit shelo asanu kegoye haratzot velo samanu kemishbeho hadama shelo samho kenu kahem begor aleinu keho hamonam vanachnu korim Umishtahavim, Umodim, Liftei Melech, Malhei Hamlahim, HaKadosh Baruch Shehu Tashamayim Beyosed Aretz, Umosev Yikaro Bashamayim Mima'al, Ushim Na Uzo, Begov Hey Meromi, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emit Malkeinu Ephesulato, Kakachu Betorato, Beyadatahayim, Behashavote, Elevevaha. Ki Adonai hu Elohim Bashamayim Mima'al Ve'al ha'aretz mitachat Ein Od Kakachuba Torah Adonayim Lofle Lomba Ed Ve'ne'emar Ve'haya Adonai Lemelech Al Kol Ha'aretz.
Affirmation on page 232. If anybody's reciting along with me, please join. Yit Gadal ve'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Ve'almad Ivrach Yerutei ve'amlich Malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'gala u'bizman kari v'meru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mavorach ve'olam u'mei Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudashah b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'meru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'meru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'meru amen. Lauren, we're talking about how quickly this went by. Right? Just all of that preparation, excitement, and now you understand we said to be able to be in the moment and to feel and to appreciate. So why don't you come back up here? Noah, come on, and Alicia and Adam, why don't you join us up here? Because this is a moment of sanctity, of celebration, of holiness. Let's have everybody rise, please, those of you who are able to. Put your arm around your neighbors if you like, if you're comfortable enough, and you'll join along with us in the Shechiana. Come on, Michelle. There you go.
Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימן והגיענו לזמן הזה ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקימן והגיענו לזמן הזה One word, amen. Just you.
I want to acknowledge also before we join together this beautiful table cover here, which is the chuppah originally from Adam and Alicia's wedding that has all kinds of pictures. If you want to see it afterwards, come up and see it. But we're so pleased to celebrate Mazal Tov, Lauren!
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulechal Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechal Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechal Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechal Yisrael. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov. Simen tov, Yehelanu.
Remember this?
You remember it?
Yeah, these are
Beautiful, it really is. I said that, I believe the Torah is right on your faces right there.
yeah.
It's so beautiful, it really is. And all the Sheva Brachot here, and some blessings.
Beautiful.
And Mazal Tov.